really fucking fun. This is fun. It's really fun. Okay, you guys gotta remember all these titles, because when the record comes out in about 12 years from now, then you'll know, because that's how long it's probably gonna take. This next song is called Going with the Grain.
In an effort to better keep in touch, the girls had weekly gingerbread homemaker chats. With little context, this angered many of their feminist friends.
The gig seems dope. What are you whining about?
Honestly, I know I'm acting spoiled AF, but I get paid 30% less than my last job, and there's no benefits. That's a big deal, you know?
Of course, makes perfect sense. But it's just that for the past 6 months, after you got transferred back to the East Coast, all I've been really hearing about is how little creative freedom you have, and how your vision isn't cultivated or even encouraged, and how by the time that production hits consumption, it's so far away from its initial conceptualization, and by the time you get home, you're so exhausted that you don't have time or the energy to fulfill your creative needs. So, what do you want me to say? I just want to see you do what makes you smile. For the next 50 years, you have to wake up every single day and do this. Just sign up for the ACA with your new paycheck. It's easy.
Right. Maybe they should teach us that business in this country doesn't flow as well as it should. We just paid a lot of money for these consultants, and all they do is tell their bosses what we've told our bosses. Or if they're not doing that, they're protecting the ideas that our bosses have. And that's so they can have deniability and point their fingers at us and say, this is what they told us.
Wow, tell me more.
Look, I wish my colleagues and I had more power and influence to change things. Like, I'm tired of seeing bad decisions ruin the company. It's all about economic protection. Every decision made is like, can I cover my Am I gonna get paid this week? Does this risk me losing a paycheck? I mean, I get it. If I had a mortgage and kids, I'd be scared to death too. But it sucks that we have to hold back our potential just for this bullshit.
Bettina waited patiently for a segue.
Looks like it's maybe time to settle down and have some kids.
There we are.
I don't even know if I want kids. I already helped raise my nieces and nephews. I love them so much. But I feel like that part of my system has been satiated already, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm down. Mama life seems lit. Also, I like when dads carry their little babies around in that kangaroo seatbelt thing.
Joey's.
Also, we need to get first dates.
Yes, they did.
Dude, the other day I was talking to my dad and he mentioned how proud of me he was. I cried.
That's cry-worthy, but they should be proud. I mean, they worked their asses off so that we could do what we do for a living.
That's real. When's the last time you cried?
Cramps.
That's real.
I mean, our bosses are women, and our bosses' bosses are women. If we can't win the White House, we might as well win a few Fortune 500 companies.
Maybe I shouldn't say this, but my last boss worked a lot. Like, she mentioned how her husband was almost always asleep by the time she got home.
I know, Niati goes on like 3 dates a week, but she still responds to emails within 15 minutes most of the time. I don't know if and when she sleeps. If you could have your dream job, would you give up the other stuff?
I mean, I am not even thinking about the important stuff I should be probably thinking about. It's mostly just work, and when I'm not working, and the next 1 or 2 bum-ass trips.
Do you want kids?
I don't know, but I know you're ready to spend it all up at Beth and Beyond. Maybe we should focus more on that instead of thinking about having hard-boiled eggs right now.
It's perfectly reasonable for us to just find partners at 34 and have everything fall into line. HBO has us figured out.
They didn't.
I do, but it sort of makes me feel like I'm good.
Have you watched season 2?
Would be cool if we had our own show.
No, it wouldn't.
I love working. I just wouldn't mind having a family while doing it.
Same, but what are you supposed to do? Rent, healthcare, student loans. That ain't free. Dude, my sister spends $950 a month just on childcare, and she works 40 hours a week. That's not even including diapers, clothes, food. That stuff never ends.
That's my rent, and I don't even buy diapers or clothes. I remember the first time I saw my parents' mortgage bill. I almost threw up.
At least that's one thing we don't have to worry about. A down payment seems so far away.
Maybe we should all just buy one big house.
I'll be Blanche, and you can be Dorothy.
Instead of Golden, we can be up-and-coming, co-parenting, but not married girls. And all the catch characters can be men who are intimidated by our careers.
A group home would be so dope. We could get a robo-butler.
Do those exist?
I feel like I do. I definitely saw something on Elon Musk's Instagram. Actually, maybe it was something about the Hyperloop.
How did you get that mixed?
But I feel like it could have been a robo-butler, though. Like, they could help you with house chores or console you when you're down.
Like when I'm down because a robot took my job.
A robot could never have the sophisticated taste of a 23-year-old from Newport Beach.
I think creatives are pretty safe from automation. But then again, creatives only get hired when people have money to spend, and automation makes sure that less people have less money to spend. Maybe you could sell robots.
I feel like they'd only wear robo-type names like Kenzo or Superdry.
Every name is a robot-type name if you use that voice. Pulp Studios, Adidas, Oshkosh Bigosh, Jill Sander.
This wasn't a robot voice.
That's true. I also feel like you do that with hookup comments.
Neither J nor Bettina had ever hooked up.
What do you mean?
What did you do today?
Pulled weeds.
I'll pull your weeds. What do you think?
Oh no.
Without the bad times, we wouldn't appreciate the good times. Life is precious and I cherish every living moment.
Dee, that's it. We've got to figure out a way to make Mr. Hall sublimely happy.
She's stuck in the middle. And what could be less cool than being a tween?
I don't care if you like us, because we don't like you. You're a bad person with an ugly heart, and we don't give a flying think.
What are you doing? You just made cash with a homeless person? I just said thank you for the bagel, and you say, no.
How y'all doing? Look at the little business women.
My 25-year-old assistant, Nina Grabowski, has a summer share in Bridgehampton with 18 other girls. They have to sleep in shifts.
What do they do when they meet someone?
Oh, they shifts too.
You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Let her roll!
I realized for the first time they wanted me to take my mother's place. So I sat down on the east, where things begin.
At the center, Dorothy, we teach acceptance. In life, there are some things that are inevitable, and you just have to accept them.
She is right, Dorothy. I know because I've been there myself.
You killed your best friend too, Blanche? Sorry, Dorothy.